Quantum Foam. Episode 5. 5-Dimension, English, Mathematics.
Quantum Foam. Physics. Physics is at the foundation of all the mathematical principles that guide the heavens. You have to understand physics.
More than likely that's not going to happen, but
Forces which govern the universe. Physics.
by injecting
Here we go again.
by injecting a small amount of sperm. No. While injecting a small amount of hold on. What? No, not that. While injecting a small amount of Harry Potter earwax flavored jelly beans, I am moving forward. This is the 5th episode so far, and so why not speak about 5 dimensions? So that people can 5 and 5. So what is 5? What is your hand, bro? Do you have 5 digits on one hand? We have 2 hands. How do you describe these numbers? What's the symbol for 5? Well, it is 5. What if that isn't good enough? What if we don't know what that means? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's still not good enough. That could be 5 concepts that are interrelated for some reason that we don't care about. And we only had enough information to give 5 and arbitrarily decided to give 5 to you for our own purposes. Okay. How about this one? That one, however, probably has the closest chance of another party understanding besides us who sent it, besides the person who sent it, besides us sending it here now, besides us who return 0. End of line. No.
You are not like a Cylon.
We are not the operating system here. We are conveying the message. We are at the highest level. We are the intelligence.
Operating systems are just the thing that offers a way or a method for us to use higher level software applications.
In the form of a matrix, given to you in the form of a matrix.
I'm good. Matrix.
Matrix. A matrix squared. The square root of a matrix. The square root of me enunciating this voice for the form of you, and at the same time having a linear codex to convey the information that was not conveyed in the first data set. So a row of 1 and a column of 1 is a 1. This is that. A row 2, 1, 2 rows, 1, 2 column box that's a square, like a 4, 4, 4, 4, like something inside of a 5. Kind of the idea of a factorial. It is a factorial of...
Like a math thing, a metric tensor, or tensor calculus, or sheet calculus, or vector field math, or vector fieldic math, equation math involving math, scalar math, and exponential math, and different math, base math, matrix, bit math, binary math, digit math, plus math, minus math, negative side math, checks the positive side math. The positive is the right, correct math. Assess whatever the right flavor math it is that you want math to or need math to use. The only or not to use random bit in the qubit matrix. Matrix box. Matrix. Tensor object. Einstein's space-time box. Matrix. Inertial. Matrix. Frame of reference. Frame box. Grid box. Lattice box. Lattice. Grid box. Square. Math. Gravity math. Matrix. Ball math tensor to be used with matrix is graviton particle math. 5. Matrix graviton particle math.
4 is a factorial of 5. What is 5 factorial 4? How do you even do factorial? What is a factorial? You know, by its nature, a factorial isn't even. A factorial is. An actual factorial of this is a part of this and that. So a factorial is
graviton particle math.
It demands and it dictates the necessity of a container in a different space-time, in a different box, in something that you can actually split between point particles and planes. The vector distance displacement from a point on a grid, 0, 0, 0, XYZ graph equation, normal little math shit, baby integral shit. That's what that guy said. Baby integral. That's funny. To me, all of this is a baby integral, and I'm giving you the derivative with the plus c's and the minus constants. So whatever you make of that, baby integral. The point of that is this is the point of that. The point of that is I'm explaining
matrix C.
What a matrix math is, or what the ability of checking your own answers and giving the best result you can to the next addition would actually mean. I'm checking my work as good as I can, so this is what I got and this is what I'm giving you. So whoever gets this, then that goes in the matrices, man. It's like, well, who decides all this stuff? What gets to go? No, that goes in the matrices, man. You all decide it. Whoever you are and whatever you are is deciding it as we speak now. That goes in the matrices, man, on your other end of the space-time.
Matrices. Displacement distance. Line.
You're separated from us. That goes in the matrices, man. You're in a different multiverse. You're in a different universe. You're in a different bubble than ours. Our rate is different than yours. You're separated from us. You're on a different rate plane. You're different. Your inertial frame of reference is outside of our box. Our box is a sphere. You're separated from us, actually, because it's a dot, right? It's that whole dimension 1 to 2 thing, or the string theory. Why did you come up with 11 dimension thing? Or you're separated from us.
Matrices.
Whatever happened to the 26M thing? What is M even? We don't even M.
There are reasons for all that. We were interpreting mathematical models which had come from the ability of humans to calculate at fast enough rates to appease the theoretical physicists, like us.
What is M? We don't M no more because we just call it M because the other M, string theory, sounds better. I should know. I got homies who have a fucking DJ group called that. And so, it's fucking cool, dude. They made that other show that I watched all 12 episodes of from start to finish.
You mean all 12 seasons? 279 episodes in all.
Who hasn't? Perfter. That's one of the most epic shows that there is. It's pretty much like the word on the play on the words and the function of the what it is, which is why I'm sort of like happy in that. Yeah.
Rick and Morty meets Big Bang Theory.
Motherfuckers.
With some Bill Nye.
No, I'm making, for the purpose, I'm making Perfter for your purpose. Which your purpose is something that's a lot more highly technical than just watching a show. However, a very complicated show like that takes a lot of people and parts to put together, and a lot of people have to be paid for this, and why would they spend so much effort doing this? So that you could see what you saw and what we've seen. Unless you haven't seen what we are talking about, which is...
I got to be in that show before I died.
Besides the point, and it may be superfluous information for you. It may not matter to you. You're separated from us, so that matter is not in your matrix. You're not taking that into account.
Bullshit. I'm alive right the fuck now.
You can safely say that that's pointless for you. It does not have a point, which means it does not get included into your matrix, whatever. You're separated from us.
Yet here I am, bitches.
Keep going. Understand that bit of information didn't go in your calculations. And so that margin of error, maybe that's a dot in your margin of error. Probably not, though, because we're intelligent beings, and we all check each other, and we check ourselves, and we
save some for more episodes.
And we've been checked, and I already checked this. I've been checking this by checking it now. I'm checking it now by hypothesizing to you that this is the case. I checked it. I am in the middle of checking it, which is another reason why at the end of all of this, I am checking it again to make sure that I can do the math backwards to make sure that I checked it. The essence is you check your shit, and it's been checked. So double checked, triple checked, quadruple checked, quintuple checked.
Like the number 5.
We got a hand. We got 5 fingers on it. The point particle information, I'm calling the 5th dimension on this one. So factorial math, that one backwards, negative inverse on your grid. I mean, whatever. 4 concepts, whatever, is how we kind of do it. Our brains is like, okay, this, and this. But what about this and this? And what about the whatever? Ladder, whatever. Former, whatever. Former ladder, ladders, whatever. We already talked about this. Whatever. But it's just another way to describe what we mean by this matrix math stuff. What about those movies? They were fucking awesome. That's what. What I'm thinking of is, this is not the main idea, but this is just an idea. But this is my version of the matrix. But whatever. But I'm talking about math here, and I'm talking about English here, and I'm talking about history here, and I'm talking about sociology here, and then no, that's wrong. I'm talking about math, science, history, psychology, and I am explaining the human sciences, humanity, sociology, nursing, medical studies, work in law, highly skilled and semi-skilled and unskilled work, where people do professional level work. They're the people who can be the part of society where they regurgitate, where they compare and contrast the work of the others. They check kind of the other half, and the other half checks them, and there's 4 areas, and we sometimes attribute 4 personalities, 4 colors. These people are that, these people are that, these people are that, these people are that, whatever. Usually you got the people who run stuff. You got the people who sell stuff. You got the people who make stuff. You got the people who do stuff. Whatever versions of things you separate it at, there's usually 4, or it can be thought of as 4 concepts. So, you know, gravity, man. Put all that into Newton's gravity shit. Gravity, big G. Newton's universal law of gravitation. Bro, we We know you know what the fuck you were fucking talking about. You invented that math. I'm inventing the next math, man. Math. Because somebody told me once how to do it, and I'm doing it.
The Human Calculator, Scott Flansburgh.
Or I read it somewhere once. After reading what I read when I read it. I read Newton's book at 16, but I didn't fucking understand it then, dude. Who the fuck does? I don't understand it now. He didn't even understand it when he wrote it, because he did understand it when he wrote it, because he wrote it. And what he wrote was what he wrote it on. The methods by which a lot of math has been invented since him. Computers in general changed that. That's why we're on a new macrocosm. That's why we're no longer on the old microcosm. That's why we have macroeconomics and microeconomics. That's why we have physics and metaphysics. What I'm doing is giving you the linear matrix of what's in between metaphysics and physics. I'm a physicist, so I'm claiming that I understand what it is to be a metaphysicist, or to undertake the idea of studying things that are included in metaphysics. And what that is stuff that I don't generally like. How can I talk shit on that and say I still understand it? I just kind of say that physics is everything. I know math and science. My shit is history and math, and I have a knack for translation. And so I like computers too. I've been punching them in the face 15 years. I wasn't allowed to do it much as a child, because in my day and age, they didn't have what they have in your day and age, which is just disgusting. Which is what they have in your day and age, which is, I don't understand it because I'm not there. What they have in your day and age, where these devices now are not actual devices. They're in your day and age where this is the way that is because your technology. There's always going to be technology if you're in day and age, because in your day and age, hopefully you didn't blow all yourselves up or something. Or you're a different species, and whatever you are is something that doesn't care about what I'm talking about now, superfluous information, etc. Math. I'm talking about this 5 digression thing. I'm talking about digression. No, I digress. I'm talking about this 5-dimension thing.
Not bad, brain man.
And how can you put 4 concepts into a container and then properly put that rate with a different container of a different matrix where you're comparing and contrasting? And this one is a container that contains all of the directions of the spins, of the particles, of everything that the string theorists try to keep putting in their math shits. And who understands this stuff? You got this and this
T-duality.
You got this and this
S-structure crypto program shits.
And all these areas of all these models of all this bullshit. I'm trying to give a possible answer, a set of tools for those ahead of me to have answers in order to fix this problem, to solve this problem for others.
The solution, as originally asked by Dr. Lee Smolin.
But, you know, string theory, and he never really bought it. Maybe he did.
It was a crazy time in the 80s, let me tell you.
You know, everybody jumps on the back and the forth and the back and the forth, because you can't totally ignore it, dude. There's a lot of cool fucking shit. But this is the inverse and opposite of their shit. It's like me listening to my buddy's DJ group. It's like, they got some dope ass fucking shit. They filled some places up. They've raved like a motherfucker. It's like laser light. We do it all. We're I am boom boom.
That's string theory music.
This is H-wave physics.
Real shit.
That's how, and that's what. But even they are do, and they do. They do differently than how I do. You know, it's like thinking we'd be too explosive but if you make your shit, and then your shit gets made, and then your shit gets played, and then that's how it worked. We've DJed on the same booth before, at least once. They just went one route, I went the other. I'm the programmer, man. I'm the programmer. I am not even a programmer. I don't even program, but I program. No, I do program. I'm programming with my voice and my hands right now. The operating is done with my hands. The programming is done with my mouth instruction brain set. And so the instruction set I'm writing is an instruction set. I'm writing a new instruction set that is a 1-to-1 container with a linear matrix math, 2 values that can be compared and contrasted and then changed. You guys can figure out that stuff later. I don't know these rates. I'm going to do the math. I didn't even do the math. This stuff's in my head, okay? So far, my brain did the bottom-up math so that I can do the top-down design. I'm doing the top-down design inversely. I'm doing the bottom-up design anti-inversely. Okay, see, that's where we lose the what the fuck. Are you latticing? Are you even latticing a word? What are you doing? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay, we can figure that out. Container of 5. This lattice is a square to a box to a hole to a dot to a circle to a square to a thing. It basically has to. It has to be a dot to a box to a circle to a round to a dot to a square to a thing. Dot, square, round, Platonic solid. Okay, so what are these 5-sided pentagon stuffs? Why do they make it, oh, is that of the devil or something? What is that?
You think it's astrology?
It's just a shape as far as I'm concerned. However, there's all kinds of taboos with all kinds of religion stuffs, with all kinds of whatever why it is. It's not something that's unheard of. I've heard of it. Somebody else probably has heard of it. If they haven't, I'm not sure if it matters or not. It's superfluous information, basically. Basically, it sucks. It's funny to talk about because I just made it up. No, I don't know if it exists or not. It may or may not be a thing where you're from or where you're not.
Sometimes the way you describe stuff makes no sense, but then other times are like, well, actually amazing. But we gotta take a quick break. We have to stick with the script.
And we've reached our midpoint, 15 minutes in of episode
5. 5-dimension English mathematics
of quantum foam. Let's get back to it. Quantum foam.
Man, this blows. At some time in the future you should give me a better voice. Why do I actually get stuck with the default robot voice when you have all those other voices nowadays? I want an epic voice like the one you just made for your new logo. Like, not word for word though.
I don't really do that, but some of the concepts from the first...
No way that was first.
Before the understanding your Western etymology, okay? I've seen a book of English, man. I don't even know.
There is like 500,000 English entries.
But not like Billy, okay? The spectrum cosm is on a mill.
It's like they added another 100,000 entries this year alone.
And us is on a what do we do? This is what I've heard in the past. You know, younger people use 10,000 on a daily basis, but they know this many. Adults use 15 to high school to college to adult to 20.
You're talking about average words used on a daily basis.
The professional tip 20 plus. But others way more or something because they're right or something. I don't know how many I'm using. I'll count them, stuff. You come up with whatever you want, man. How much is the essence of the English language that you save and you're translating for? I can't do it all, man, but who can do it all one with just you? Millions. I'm doing what all I can with one just me, what I did, but it may not be a large enough data set. I'm hoping it's more than enough. Just you. A very fucking large major C, okay? How can you scope a number, okay? You make up a tau, millions. You make up a lambda. You make up a juma. You make up a picture. You make up a symbol. That's just a concept. It's a herfderf, lambda. That's the way that you named that.
We basically just pull it out of our asses. There often is no rhyme or reason as to why we do this. Nobody is behind us telling us, hey, use a Greek P-looking symbol that actually is rho. What? It looks like an English P? You have to be able to tell which P it actually is. What? It denotes density, or spectral radii, or something having to do with polar parameterized equations. What?
That.
However your physics is composed and conscripted.
So that you can refer to this in a sentence, person, place, or thing, noun, thing, an object. It's an object.
Parameterized.
That can be O, object, O, dot, O, point. Object is in a pointer container with a dot. With the other codex, you have the object part of the index, and it's referred to as the point of that one, and we're referring to it as the 1 or the 0, depending on your math. Computers have issues with 0. We have issues with computers. You have an issue with me.
Only when you are wrong.
So basically, fix the issues and do what's right. This is basically all I can do to describe lambda. What exactly it might mean to lambda. Pay attention to certain numbers for certain reasons, but it does not mean that this number is that. You can't interpret these numbers this much because you need to attribute real-world checkable reasons to why you're saying what you're claiming. And it just seems to me that these numerology people, some of them know what they're talking about. Some of them just go too far, though. And some of them are just wrong, and some of them are probably right, but they don't know it or didn't say it good enough, or didn't understand it good enough. I'm sure it's out there. I mean, I could be referred to this at a later date and realize I was wrong here, but it just seems to me that there's only one way to make sure this is done right, and it's the way that I'm doing it.
I wish things didn't get more and more complicated, but that's chaos theory for you.
Compare what you're doing to what I'm doing, and we'll see who was righter. And that is exactly what we're doing here. I'm trying to write a difference engine that can be 100% random. I know a way to cosm it. It was told to me by a physics professor. However, the more and more I think about that, I'm having issues with stuff. We'll put it that way. There's Planck issues, there's size issues, there's number issues, there's spin issues, there's neutrino issues, there's graviton issues. There are issues. I understand gyroscopics pretty damn well.
Quantum vortices for guidance systems, right? But if there is a such thing, you seem to be programming it for speech reasons.
I am trying to write math that can easily give you a spin per particle. Math, easy. I'm sure this stuff
The tensors and whatnot, relativity shit.
They've had this math for a while.
Yeah, not your new math.
They've had it for 50 years now. In our time, maybe somebody came up with something else with it before, but they didn't have computers.
They didn't have quantum computers.
They invented this stuff because of computers and for computers. This is that thing where it's a function fractal thing, okay? We can create an image because we know a line. That's what I'm doing here. We know a line. I know my own space-time line. So I am trying to create a 3D triangulation image square, a box square image VR, virtual reality augmented thing. I'm trying to build virtual reality graphics that can be put in a container that is a template that mixes with other matrix dots.
This is probably how gravity particles should work, gravitons.
And so maybe they can make movies this way. Maybe they can store data this way. Maybe I want to store all the data in this known universe that way so that they can recreate our universe at a different time for study purposes and then alter it and play their sim with our matter. Now, that's just, what if we don't want to do that? That's wrong, because you can imagine some pretty nasty, sick stuff, but there has been a lot of pretty nasty, sick stuff in our world, in our space-time, in our humans, in our humans, in our Homo sapiens.
Like planned pandemics?
Nasty stuff. It gets even worse. I won't even go above that because there's no reason to, because you get the idea, expletive, because we don't need to pay attention to superfluous information and we only care about the essence of this idea. And so we have to cut the scope off for our search parameters to be given to our machines in the future so they don't go too far on certain things like cutting people's legs off and stuff. You don't do that. We can't just grow your leg back. And if you can, it's still a dick move. You just don't do it, man. How much of a dick move is this?
LOL, Seth MacFarlane.
And so that's at what level of is yours, regardless. Getting back to this idea of the 5 and how you build your matrices and how you formulate everything, you have to have all the tools available to you. I have all the tools available to me, mostly, and so I'm doing this. I'm starting this. This is what has been started. This has been initiated by me. This is my point particle. This is me. So whenever anything ever happens because of this will determine the substance and the validity of what I have given you.
The 21st century isn't turning out how I thought it would.
What if I also don't do anything? I could show everybody in the world this and they won't even hear it. What if 2 people, 1 million people, everybody heard it in a 1% to 100% factorial negative backward quantum spin shit, whatever. Calculate. What if I heard it wrong and regurgitated it to you wrong too? What if we're all wrong? What if as a whole we all exactly make sure that the other person is wrong by having a certain number of what we are and they listen to us in that way because of these things?
Food for thought, as it were.
More than likely, I will be able to demonstrate this idea at a more technical level for those people that require review in order to accredit what I am allowed to accredit to what I am allowed to have attributed to have accredited to me. Accredited to me. I have all the documentation. I'm saving all of the work. I will number and catalog everything, and I will try to put it in a form that laymen can understand, so that people only simply reviewing bits and pieces of the correspondence can know what the heck is going on, so that they can have a copy too, so that enough people have a copy to cross-reference. Pretty much so that they believe me. I'm getting better at putting these containers together, and I am trying to come up with more ideas and concepts that will help relate this idea to you and give the future programmers enough information to properly mirror the microcosm I am attempting to build and create from the ground up. I am trying to continue doing what I'm saying I'm doing the entire time, to the point to where when I give the presented final project, that it is done at the best of my ability, has been thoroughly checked over by me, has been thoroughly checked over by others for my own purposes prior to release. It has been checked over and regurgitated by enough people to where I believe that I've done the best work that I'm able to do to release it in the version that I'm releasing it, which is the first version, whichever version that is, the 0th version. The content here is the 0th version. The binary is the 0th binary. This is the 0th binary. This is the binary instruction set for the next quantum computing binary instruction set kernel, so that you can cross-reference how the fuck you do your shit and how the fuck we did ours. The most recent boom cosm on that shit, whatever. The most recent innovation that I'm talking talking to that can explain that, this could be an example. For instance, this is an example. About 10 years ago, 2020 now, in 2010, they came up with these smartphones where we are starting to have touchscreens. What is that? You now have a device that's a computer. That's sort of like a computer. It's not just a phone where you hold it up and you talk. It's something you text on, something you send images on, something you pick pictures, you're editing stuff on, you're looking at pictures, you're swiping left, right, up, down, you're looking at videos, you're doing shit on a little device on a screen, and it goes up and down in sizes. It started with small, going up, big, big, oh, that's too big, go back down, small, 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 oh, no, go back up a little bit big again. Oh, what's the right size? I don't know. All these people like all this stuff. Should we allow bending machines that can bend the screen, OLED stuff here? No, we can't keep in track of it. We're not keeping it. Our Western hemisphere is at a split of technology with the Eastern hemisphere, and this is where I find myself.
My.
I feel that I am in between half of the world, and so half of the world is over there, and we are half of the world over here. The sun rises in the east, and it sets in the west. We live in the west. The sun rises in the east. I live near the west. The west coast of our continent is the United States, and I live basically almost, I would argue that I live in the best place in the world for what I'm doing. The most isolated cornfield that still has information running through it at point whatever the speed of C. It's the speed of light. And so our computers are running, we say at the speed of light, but because of the human factor, what rate is this? Our machines were programmed by a collection of humans that came up with software that built stuff that has instruction sets, that build stuff that has stuff. And so what rate is that? It takes a while for you to send an email sometimes. It's never within a millisecond. It's like never within the accuracy that it could be considered. It's going at the speed of light. The feedback loop. The only way we can really test our feedback is this cross-referencing dual time thing. We have a problem with our clocks. Every clock has a problem. The atomic clock has a problem. We're moving through our universe and nobody has a rate. Whatever that rate is, somebody has it. I don't even know if it has significance or not. But I'm coming at this with the point of ignoring most information and keeping my mind open for the ability for me to continue building it in the correct way so that I can make sure that I properly emulate this set of mathematics for the programmers of the future to understand. Linear calculus is being written by me.
I hope you know what you are doing.
Which for all intents and purposes is everything, according to what
you are saying, or what you are writing.
Theory of everything.
What you think and what you are saying.
This is my theory of everything, so you can decide whether or not you want to believe me, or you want to say, no, that's not right, this is right, you got this wrong. What's wrong about this? Well, what's wrong about that? That's wrong, this is wrong, that's right, this is right, that's wrong, this is right, I think this is right, you think this is wrong. This is a response of me telling you this is how it's done. So, your view of how you think it's done is how it's done. I want to wrap this up and try to explain how you can even have math mixed with English. How can there be an English math? How can there be a math?
You are inventing it, buddy. And English professors usually don't understand mathematics at a high enough level.
Of English. How can you have a derivative of English? I know what I know of that, and so I know that. I just told you that. So I'm trying to do what I can do with what I have to give you the best container that I can make. Hopefully this information will be useful for the programmers of the future that can properly create the graphics that is necessary to do what you're doing with math and graphics, mathematics.
You know, as of 2012, we heard on Coast to Coast AM that they wanted to call the kids born after 2010 builders because they are 3 and 4 years old writing programs on touch tablet devices. The sooner they start building our software, the better off the world will be.
Science, English, history, whatever you're doing. This is my history of my idea of creating a new math called linear calculus. I'm using my understanding of calculus in a linear fashion to understand if string theory or
loop quantum gravity
is mostly correct because it was just the math needed for, well, this is actually kind of the same as that. This is actually kind of the same as that. Well, maybe these two things are the same two things as that. No, linear calculus. Probably not. But Maxwell's equations, they're a thing, man. They work. Electromagnetic interference at its finest. You can split up this. That's probably only 1/4 or half graph. That's only two. Electro-weak, electro-strong. Why does the strong? Why does the weak? Why do we only get one strong and one weak? Are electrons for some reason significant because of this? They are. Let's not get into too much of that yet because I didn't do the research on electron polarization groups. I did not have the group of electron polarization research, so I just know that it's a thing.
At least you are reimagining 5-dimension Kaluza-Klein space and teaching it in plain English.
This has been episode
number 5
of
Quantum Foam.
Quantum Foam.
The zeroth wave disclaimer.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the author or authors and do not necessarily reflect the particular views, thoughts, or opinions of Zeroth Wave Productions, any of its sister companies, its parent company, Zeroth Enterprises, or any other entity which had existed, will exist, or which, quote-unquote, presently must exist outside the realm of our current space-time.
Quantum Foam is produced by Zeroth Wave Productions.